We saw the licensing of Starlink in Zimbabwe having finally happened after quite a lot of struggle. There was a lot of struggle with Zanu-PF. Zanu-PF wanted to take over. They wanted to be, as usual, corrupt within the registration or the beginning of Starlink, with Mnangagwa at one point even wanting Wikno Chivayo to be part and parcel of Starlink, to also get some shares out of it. And this is one of the reasons that made the registration and the final operation of Starlink to take longer than necessary in Zimbabwe. But finally, it happened after Starlink turned them down. The ZANU-PF are now out of the game. But of course, knowing ZANU-PF as we do, they would always get somewhere where they will benefit from. And right now, as we speak, nepotism and corruption smell begins in licensing Starlink resellers by ZANU-PF. Already we are beginning to see the signs of nepotism again, because the main issue is really why should people be licensed to be selling the Starlink kit? For what? For the why? Because somebody can just order these kits and put them on the market, as long as the prices are regulated and the prices are controlled. That's it. Somebody can just be able to do that. But now once you see ZANU-PF in there and now beginning to be the ones who say nobody must sell except those that we have licensed, already now you will start to discover that those people that are now called the licensed one are automatically connected to ZANU-PF. Already individuals or individual companies or ordinary companies will not be able to be allowed to do that. That's exactly what we know. So we have seen Tatenda Mavetera also coming out and saying that there's need for proper regulation before one is authorized to be a Starlink reseller in Zimbabwe. So already there's a company that has been offered, or companies that are already being offered. Like for example, Tel1 just became automatic. They just declared that they are now the sellers of the Starlink kit. There was no noise, there was nothing, because it's a ZANU-PF company. You see, now when it comes to other people, other individuals, it becomes a big problem now, where you will start to see that only companies of individuals that are connected to ZANU-PF are going to be getting these licenses. That's where the nepotism is. So let's hear Tatenda Maveteras speaking here.
From the time that even His Excellency went on and announced about Starlink coming through, it took some time for us to be able to go through some rigorous process. Everything needs regulation. There's nothing which just doesn't come through without us being able to understand and be able to monitor who is doing what. So as far as we're concerned, we've not disallowed anyone to be able to operate or be able to be a reseller for Starlink. But what we've done, what Fortress has done, which is the licensing authority, is to make sure they need to know who is doing what and at what place. If we don't have any regulations, it becomes difficult for us to be able to operate in any way. That's why you can see, even in terms of cybersecurity, we've put measures for us to be able to monitor around that. Even cybersecurity and so on, for us to monitor, even and be able to also regulate and also securitize everyone else. So for us, what we've done is to allow Starlink to be able to have a license, and then be able to also allow it to have some resellers, and that is within the license that we give them. And all other players which have not yet been approved, I'm sure is going to be coming through. We can't be having a monopoly on such an innovation. And all we can do is for us to support and make sure that we've got an enabling environment which allows everyone to be able to operate it. So if one is going to say it has taken long, I think the first person was even supposed to complain was Starlink on his own, to even say, because the time that it was told, the time that His Excellency gave the announcement, until now they've been given the license. I'm sure you all appreciate how long that took. And I don't know if there's any person, in my view, that I would want to know, if there's any person who has taken that long without being given it or issued a license. So let us not just try to create issues which do not exist, like people thinking they can be monopoly. How can we monopolize such? We are not in any capacity to do that, but there is due diligence, and also there is some regulations that
That's where we have a problem. The moment you start to hear them talking about due diligence, that's where the whole process starts, because due diligence that they are talking about here is where they are going to be automatically eliminating. It's just like ZANU-PF today coming up and saying, now we are going to be very, very transparent. Can you start bringing all your money so we keep for you? Who will ever take money there? Right now, nobody. That's why even that economy, no matter how much they want to come up with new whatever that they are doing, the people are no longer trusting ZANU-PF, because ZANU-PF has done a lot of corruption for a very long time. So nobody would come today and want to start to say we are going to be doing things in a transparent manner. There's no fishy anything fishy about the way we do things. No. We know you. We know how you love money. We know how you love profiteering. We know how you love nepotism and favoritism. So that's for you to come and tell us today that it is not going to happen. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. ZANU-PF is corruption itself. It can't live outside corruption. That is the problem.
That also allow operations on that, and that is what Fortress is doing. So I'm sure I have responded to Tafazo as well.
So there we have it. So right now we are beginning to talk about it at this stage. Just wait for some time, some months down the line, we will be back again talking about the very same issue. We'll be back again starting to talk about these, dealers and these rogue people of ZANU-PF having started to be taking over all these, and you find start to hear Shoni Mnangagwa, Neville Mchangwa and the like. These are the guys who are right now they are passing names of their companies where they are hiding behind the scenes, and those companies will just continue to be approved, and they will be now the ones that will take over this. We know ZANU-PF. We've dealt with ZANU-PF. We've lived with ZANU-PF for long enough to know what kind of animals they are. They cannot turn around today and just want to tell us that no, we have stopped being thieves, we have stopped being dishonest just because there is something new that has just come in play. No ways. There is no. Even Mnangagwa cannot rebuke the people that are doing all this corruption. What do we expect? So this is what it is. The truth of the matter is there is nothing that is ever going to be transparent as long as ZANU-PF continues to be in power. That's why we are fighting to make sure that the government that has failed Zimbabweans for a long time, ZANU-PF government and anyone else attached to it, must never be trusted with positions of authority and positions of leadership. That is our fight and our war until victory is certain. Very soon, Zimbabwe is going to be free. We need new leaders, and the new leaders indeed are coming, because a great new Zimbabwe is going to be birthed very, very soon. Thank you so much, family, for joining me on this show. We will continue to be meeting in the upcoming shows. Remain blessed. By the way, we will have our last shows, I think around 8 o'clock at the main channel, our last 3 shows of the night, and then we shall call it quits. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Remain blessed till we meet again. Shalom.